Today, there still seems to be a bit of a taboo with adults watching cartoons. I don't really know why. It just seems silly that when you become an adult, that you need to leave childish things behind. Well, what if those childish things are what made you happy? What then? One thing that's always bothered me about Doug Walker is that when he did his little nostalgia critic retrospective of Nickelodeon and Nicktoons, he said he stopped watching the channel during the mid-90s when he was growing up. Well, why? I can understand if you didn't have the channel anymore, but Nickelodeon during my time, the mid and late 90s, was pretty good. But Cartoon Network was always my favorite channel because of them showing cartoons 24/7, and pretty good cartoons too. Well, that doesn't seem to be the case much anymore. In this video, I'm going to be going over just what I remember from the Cartoon Network I grew up with. So it'll be a sort of retrospective, but more so from my own experience. So some information may be a little off. I'm not entirely sure. You'll just have to correct me on a few things if I'm wrong. When I was little, I didn't have Cartoon Network or even cable or satellite, but my cousin did. So I watched it there. Then when I moved with my mom to Wilmington, I finally had Cartoon Network and I was excited to watch it pretty much all the time. After that I moved back in with my dad and I didn't have it anymore. So I didn't watch Cartoon Network that much from 2003 to 2007. So I don't really know what was going on at the network at the time. I just know that in the late 90s and early 2000s, it felt like Cartoon Network was the place for new cartoons to take off. Because they had a chance and Cartoon Network was always looking for new content. I remember seeing the What a Cartoon show, which showed cartoon shorts, with some eventually becoming Cartoon Network original series, like Dexter's Lab, The Powerpuff Girls, Courage the Cowardly Dog, and a few others. I remember sometime in 2000 and in other years, there were some late-night airing of cartoon pilots. This was before Adult Swim. And depending on how well they were received, they would get their own show. The ones I remember doing that were Sheep in the Big City and Whatever Happened to Robot Jones. I couldn't find any information about that late-night airing, but it's what I remember happening. Come to think of it, during that time, Cartoon Network seemed to be more of a network for cartoonists than anything else. A few of the programs I remember that would show old cartoons were the Acme Hour, the Tex Avery Show, and the Chuck Jones Show. I remember Cartoon Network actually paid tribute to Chuck Jones when he passed away in 2002. There was also Toonheads, which was a favorite of mine, since it would often talk about a certain aspect of cartoon history and show cartoons that were connected by a theme. Also in the late 90s, Cartoon Network started to air cartoons from the Kids WB, since Turner had merged with Time Warner. So I was able to see Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain, Freakazoid, and Tiny Toons all over again. I had already seen them when I was much younger, but I didn't remember much, so it was nice to see them again. There was also Toonami that would show during the late afternoon. I would get off the bus after school at my cousin's house to watch it. They'd show action shows like Reboot, Batman, and Thundercats, as well as some popular anime like Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z, though one of my favorites that they showed was Outlaw Star. The program was originally hosted by Moltar of Space Ghost, but then a character called Tom took over. There was one weird instance during this program where something was on the ship and there was an online game you could play to help Tom out. Then afterwards his appearance changed and he looked more badass. Badasses still like cute things though.
What's going on here? Well, they are kind of cute.
On Saturdays, Cartoon Network would show cartoon movies in a program called Cartoon Theater, showing stuff like An American Tail and Land Before Time. They did show the other Land Before Times, but the point is that they actually showed cartoons. Though my favorite part about Cartoon Network back then was every Friday night. I'd be excited for the Cartoon Fridays, and I loved the intro to the program.
Is that it?
No, that isn't it.
Each Friday night would have its own cartoon host as well, and I thought that was pretty awesome.
What's this? Another host? You don't even talk!
I do sometimes.
Looks like there's a scheduling conflict. Who did the schedule anyway?
I think Bravo.
Such incompetence! Such idiocy! I am the host! I am in control! Didn't you see the open? I control the colors, the audio, the logo thing.
And it wasn't just the cartoons and programs that were great. It was also the various bumpers and commercials. I like how they portrayed Cartoon Network as a place that all of the characters went to work, and it was a joy to see how they would interact with each other. One particular commercial I remember fondly was one where Scrappy-Doo flips out at the characters that star in the cartoons.
I've been busting my hump at this network for years! I mean, who do you think's been keeping the cartoon mystery fresh all this time? But do I get the same treatment as them? Not even close! Can I help you?
Oh, easy there, Scooby.
My name is Scrappy! And I've been here longer than all of you! Longer than you, and you!
Oh, mama.
The problem as I see it is too many cartoons! They're the kings and queens of this network, and they know it! I put in the hours, the late nights. Where's my key to the castle?
You are here today, Scrappy?
You are a genius! How'd you figure that out?
Cartoon Network, the best place for cartoons.
Not for me! Not for me, man!
But today, Toonami is gone. They no longer show cartoon pilots or shorts. Most of the cartoons have been moved to Boomerang, and Cartoon Network has started showing live action shows. What the hell happened? Not only that, but a lot of the recent content shown on the channel isn't that good, including some of the cartoons, which consist of a few things with cheap-looking flash animation like Johnny Test, Mad, and Problem Solvers. There's also some bad CGI included with the Garfield show, which just looks ugly and lazily done when you see it in motion. I wouldn't mind the styles or animation that much if the writing was good, but it's not. The writing on these shows is pretty bad. Most of the other bad content consists of the live-action stuff like Dude, What Would Happen, Hole in the Wall, and Destroy, Build, Destroy. Mainly because it's annoying as hell to have live-action shows on a cartoon channel, but also because the shows aren't entertaining at all. I would have mentioned the new Looney Tunes show as some of the bad content, but I like to give anything a chance, and honestly, it's not that bad. It could have been a lot worse. Though they have been showing a few older cartoons lately, mainly Tom and Jerry, and I actually saw them show Two Stupid Dogs once. It felt so rare that I thought it was like spotting an albino or something. In 2009, they showed the very last episode of the Powerpuff Girls, even though it hadn't had a new season or anything for years. Seeing that sort of tore my heart a little because I knew it was probably going to be the last I saw of the cartoon lineup from my childhood. Maybe it's just because I'm older and there's a nostalgia factor involved, but I really think that Cartoon Network has started to decay, and it's been going downhill fast ever since the launch of CN Real, having the slogan that CN is more than just cartoons, even though that was the point of the channel in the first place to have cartoons 24/7. Though this isn't the only network I've noticed decreasing in quality, but that's a topic for another video. It's not all doom and gloom though, since there has been some pretty good content, although short-lived. Regardless of your opinion on the shows I'm about to mention, I thought they were excellent for the network and gave me a bit of hope that it would return to its old ways. A couple of recent cartoons on the channel, Chowder and Flapjack, both were very unique and creative and had a sense of humor to them. Chowder would often break the fourth wall, and there was even an instance where they cut to a segment with the voice actors because in the cartoon, Chowder and Mung spent all the money they had, so the budget for the animation was cut.
No money means no animation.
What are we gonna do?
Rather. No, we are not going home. We've got to save the show.
But where are we gonna get the money to pay for it?
I like the Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack a bit more though, but I'm a bit biased since I love the setting and one of the main characters was a talking whale. But Chowder was cancelled and the finale felt rushed. Flapjack had 3 seasons, mainly because the creator Thurip Van Orman wanted to do something else, but it's barely shown on the network anymore. They were both shown on Har Har Thursdays, which is kinda like Cartoon Fridays, I guess. But it also showed Johnny Test and the Total Drama series. I didn't really watch that. I saw a few episodes, but it didn't appeal to me at all. Apparently it has been well received, but I have no idea why. In my opinion, it's not that good. There was also Symbionic Titan, from the same creator of Samurai Jack. And it was an excellent action series, but it was cancelled after its first season. From what I heard, it was cancelled because it didn't have a toy line. Well, I don't know what to say other than, what the hell is wrong with them? It's a show about a giant robot fighting monsters. It's not that hard to make a toy line off of it. Though I haven't lost hope entirely for the network, or cartoons in general. In my next video, I'll be going over 4 cartoons spread across 3 different networks that I call the saviors of modern cartoons. Well, maybe not saviors, but they do give me hope for this medium, reminding me that there are still people in this industry that actually care about what they're creating. I'm Paleo, and thank you for watching.
My ability to talk with fish is of no help, Wonder Woman.
Nothing can save you now, super fools. What? The Powder Puff Girls?
Ugh, why do people always get that wrong? It's Powerpuff! No D!
How informative. Well, there is a D in destroy, as in destroy them. Destroy them!
Thanks, Powerpuff Girls.
No prob. We're big fans of old school.
You girls are developing into quite the superheroes.
Someday we'll be as developed as you!